Let her hear it. Yeah, good evening. How you guys doing? Man, you guys would suck at a rock concert with an attitude like that. Huh? Be like, you ready to rock and roll, Louisville? Yeah. Yeah, rock and roll me, buddy. Go. Let's hear it, you guys. You move some comedy or what? Make some noise. All right. Complete with a lighter over there. Good. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. I've had fun in Louisville the past couple of days driving around. I noticed that you guys drive just a little bit differently here. Apparently in Louisville, right-of-way is determined by tonnage and velocity. Stoplights just seem to be rough guidelines. Green means go, yellow means go faster, red means go if there's nobody looking. Blinkers? Never touch the shit. Hell, I just broke the stick right off the damn column. It is nice to be here. I was watching the Tube this afternoon. I've developed a little bit of a theory about television. I think it's a lot like computers, you know. It's just garbage in, garbage out. There is so much stupid stuff on television these days. I think if you watch enough of it, it can't help but make you stupid. Yeah. Like this commercial for Vaseline Intensive Care. This woman walks out. She has sort of a vacuous, self-lobotomized look on her face, right? She looks into that camera and she goes, "Sometimes my skin is so dry, I can actually write the word dry on the back of my hand." Yeah, well, if you need to do that to tell your skin is dry, maybe you ought to etch the word stupid on your forehead while you're at it. Probably wouldn't help much anyway. She'd just get to that bathroom mirror and be going, "Dip puts." Cool. Most of you guys got that one. Pretty much, if you don't get that one, you are. God forbid some of you guys get trapped in traffic behind an ambulance, man. Ecnalubma? The hell is that? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of the quality and standards in the mass media have dropped considerably in the past few years. It's everywhere, too. Radio, television, newspapers. USA Today is a perfect example. Oh, man. That fucking hamster litter, fish wrap, birdcage liner of a pandering populist shit rag newspaper. My God. How good is a newspaper that has a daily corrections column? I'm reading in the USA Today the other day, in the USA Snapshot, it says, a survey conducted recently shows that 3 out of 4 people make up 75% of the population. Look at some of you guys just sitting there going, 3 out of 4. Dude, we just came here to see comedy, man. We didn't want to have to do fractions. What a dick. Another scientific study in USA Today said exactly 1/2 of all Siamese twins are left-handed. Some of these jokes you will actually have to think about tonight, guys. So. Pretty simple process. I load them and lock them. Bang, you bag them and tag them. I'm out of here in 30. Final survey that I read said that every 30 seconds on this globe, somewhere, a Julio Iglesias song is being played. That's true. You know what that means? Somewhere every 31 seconds, somebody's going, "God damn it." Well, doesn't look like old Julio will be rolling into Louisville anytime soon, huh? Ticket sales are down, baby. Oh, man. Same newspaper, I swear this is true in USA Today. The celebrity obituary column they have occasionally said the Guinness Book of World Records oldest living human had died, right? Carrie White died at the age of 118 years old. Last line of the obituary said, and I quote, cause of death has not yet been determined. Oh, let me take a wild fucking stab in the dark on this one. Probably not crib death. And the line just before it said, unfortunately, Mrs. White died penniless. Like that was such a bad thing. Man, sounds to me like she timed it just right. Well, I'm sure her last words were, and put the rest of that on a gift certificate, Chuck. I love the Guinness Book of World Records. That is such a great book because the categories are so bizarre. Actual category in the Guinness Book of World Records, camping out. World record for camping out? Anybody? 22 years. Buddy, at some point, you are no longer camping out. You're just fucking homeless, man. Yeah, apparently we don't have a homeless problem in this country. We have a camping competition. That's not a refrigerator box. That's a KOA campsite, huh? No, don't go look for a job. We're still camping. See, I'm from Washington, D.C. We got so many homeless folks there, and I saw you guys had a bunch here, too, walking down the road today. And I used to give them a lot of my money. That was until I got mugged 2 times. First time was my fault, though, because I figured I'd tell the guy I didn't have any change without actually saying that. So I walked by, and the guy goes, yo, man, you got some change? I was like, no, man, I only got big bills. I don't know. I just get that compassion fatigue, because I see the same guy there in my neighborhood standing there every single day, never do anything, just holding up that sign, looking at me going, yo, man, can you help me out? It's like, yeah, there's 2 S's in homeless. Fuck you guys, that's funny. Apparently 2 is the limit for spelling jokes here in Louisville. God damn, he's up there ciphering and spelling and fractions. How'd you just go on home, Mr. Bookworm? I'll bet you that ponytail's just a clip-on. I don't know. Do you guys think it's actually wrong to toss a bum some change? Say like, I don't know, a fistful of pennies, overhand? Really hard, right at his head, wrapped in a roll, while he's sleeping, from the window of a moving vehicle, while you're hollering, oh no, God bless you, you fuck! Sorry, a couple of muggings just makes you a little bit bitter. Oh, man. Everything in the mass media is really driving me nuts these days with the low quality and standards. It's not just the papers. Television is definitely that way, too. They say Americans spend over 1/4 of their waking lives watching TV. That's incredible. And think about the stuff that we have to end up watching. America's funniest home videos? I don't know about you guys. I just can't take 30 minutes a week of watching Junior hit Pop in the nuts with a croquet mallet. Next week, fat chick slips on ice. You should really critically analyze what you see on the television, Think about what you're watching, because if you don't, man, it could just turn your brain into jello. Like Chick has a commercial for Tracer Razor. The announcer says, if your head were square, shaving would be simple. Buddy, if your head were square, shaving would be the least of your worries. You'd be doing 6 shows a day on the Midway with a fucking Elephant Man. It'd be Cubo the Blockhead Boy. I am not an animal. I'm a polyhedron. Besides, if your head were square, wouldn't you want to grow a beard? Help round out those unsightly corners. That's what's scary. They say the median IQ in America is dropping at a rate of 3 points every 5 years, based on the Stanford Binet IQ test averages. So 5 years ago, it was 100. Apparently this year, it's what? Apparently it's dropped a little bit more quickly here in Louisville. It's 97. I did hear someone say that's correct. So what that means is that the world is not going to go out with a bang or a whimper, but just sort of a... We'll eventually be too stupid to fuck and just die. I said that last night, and this lady goes, I'd never be too stupid to fuck. Well, for me, ma'am, you already are. Only on television would you ever see somebody try and sell you something like a clapper. What a moronic device that is, huh? See, my grandmother wanted one of those, so we got her one. And we hooked it up to her life support system. Who's in the will, Grandma? Who's in the will? Who's your favorite grandson? You want the inheritance and you know it, clap your hands. You want the inheritance and you know it, clap your hands. The respirator is not science, so I know that you are dying. I want the inheritance and I know it, clap my hands. And don't pull the plug on them, folks. Just clap them off. MTV presents Grandma Unplugged with her number one hit, Relax, folks, it's only the first dead grandma joke of the evening. Loosen up, there's plenty more of that to come. This is, in my opinion, the ultimate stupidity on the television set today. That's the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? They're the guys who brought us the incredibly terrifying frying egg in a pan, this is your brain on drugs commercial. Oh, shit. Is anybody really terrified by that asinine commercial? Let me ask you guys honestly. Who here, by applause, has ever smoked pot? Ever tried marijuana? Whether you inhaled or not, by applause. Right, that's like the vast majority of the room, man. That's good. You know, see, I hope they do learn to keep off the grass. I hope they legalize marijuana in my lifetime, you know, because that way I'll be able to use it as a tax deduction. Just file that under source for comedy material, because I've written a lot of material when I was stoned. I never used any, because it didn't really make any sense the next day. But boy, was it funny for the night. Potatoes, that's a riot. Oh. I did a little background on the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Here's what I found out. Their three biggest financial sponsors are, no lie, Philip Morris Tobacco, Miller Brewing Company, and Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals. Just say no to drugs? Yeah, because a cigarette, a cold beer, and a Prozac's all you're ever gonna need. That's such a hypocritical message, because what they're saying is that they want us as consumers to spend our disposable income on their legal drug products. They're competing for our dollar. They don't want us to spend our money on illegal drug products like pot and stuff like that. So therefore, the whole war on drugs becomes not about morality, just becomes about money, man. They have a new commercial now where they show an EEG readout. The announcer says, "This is the brain of a normal 14-year-old boy." This is the brain of a 14-year-old boy after smoking a marijuana cigarette. Any questions? No. Isn't that the point? Right? This is stress. And this isn't. Hell, my only question would be, where can I get some of that dope? Man, any weed that'll turn you into a flatliner, that's good fucking bud. Good. Glad we have a couple of pot smokers in the audience. It's funny, it usually takes you guys a couple extra seconds if you're high on the jokes. It's usually like, that was excellent. Some of you guys just looking at me like, oh, well, apparently he smokes the evil weed, does he? That's the weed with the roots in hell, mister. You know what pot stands for, don't you? Plenty of trouble. That's for damn sure. I learned that on Dragnet. Just say no to drugs. What a bunch of crap, man. Just say no thank you. There's no reason to be rude. Drug dealers have feelings too. Would your mother want you talking like that? No, I don't think so. Who here's ever heard that marijuana kills brain cells? By applause. See, some of you guys are going, marijuana kills the brain cells when you applaud? Oh, man. I'm going to be brain dead when I walk out of here. Well, I'd heard that too, actually, and that's a myth. Now, here's where it comes from. Did some research about that. 1974, the Heath Tulane University study determined that marijuana kills brain cells. Here's the scientific research methodology. You decide. They took a rhesus monkey. They strapped him into a chair. They strapped a gas mask over his face, and they pumped the equivalent of 63 Colombian-strength joints into the face of the monkey for 6 minutes solid straight. For 90 days in a row. So I signed up for this program, right? Man, the only thing that you can pump into the face of a monkey for 6 minutes without killing his brain cells is fucking oxygen. The poor chimp was suffocating. Yeah, don't bogart that gas mask there, Curious George. Come on. I don't know. I've just done a lot of research. I've done a lot of my own personal experimentation when it comes to marijuana, and I've come to the conclusion that it is a plant. It's natural. It's an herb. It's medicinal. It has a tremendous number of uses. It's been around since time immemorial. Even prehistoric man smoked pot. They had to. Look at all the cave drawings. They're always chasing food. And let me tell you something. You got to be a high kind of hungry to hunt a mastodon with a stick and a rock. Yeah, and then eat the hairy beast, huh?
I believe I will have the woolly mammoth whopper.
And I remember that when I was in high school, I used to try to smoke pot in my bedroom, you know, and blow it out my window. You guys ever do that? I was always paranoid my mom would come up to the door and go, "What are you trying to do with the window open? Get the whole outdoors high?" I was the only guy in my neighborhood that had like squirrels and birds and chipmunks lined up on the windowsill going, "Dude, shotgun!" And I had more forest creatures on my window than Snow White, man. I'll never forget the time this monkey showed up outside my window going, "Dude, remember me? Tulane University. I brought my gas mask." See, that's what's really bothering me today in the country is that people are trying to get you to think what they want you to think without giving you all of the facts. You know, I think that's the nature of political correctness. In politics, I've been following very closely for the past couple of years, and I've become really jaded with the whole two-party system in general. Let me ask you guys out of curiosity. Let me hear the Democrats in the room first by applause. All right. Now the Republicans by applause. Okay, now how about those folks who think that there's just really not a hell of a lot of difference between the two parties, Democrat and Republican, any longer? See, so many people are like me. They're so jaded towards the two-party system, and deservedly so. I mean, they both do the exact same things. They both make the same promises, they get elected, they break the promises, then they raise spending, and they increase taxes. There's only two things that are preventing us from getting anything done in this country, and that's the Democratic and Republican parties, man. There's not that many issues that separate the two parties anymore. Because if you think about it, on the one side, you got a party that wants to take away all my money, give it to a bunch of rich people who haven't earned it, don't deserve it, and have no legal claim to it. On the other side, you got a party that wants to take away all my money, give it to a bunch of poor people who haven't earned it, don't deserve it, and have no legal claim to it. See? See, they both agree on the fundamentals. Take all my fucking money. They only argue when it comes time to divvy up the loot, man. That's not political opposition. That's just a falling out amongst fucking thieves. Don't get me wrong, because I'm not bad-mouthing our current political system, because actually I think that American democracy is the best that big money can buy. Man. Every time I hear that phrase now, two-party system, I feel like the fresh little fish on the cell block trying to dance out of harm's way. It's like we've all become this political prisoner with Hobson's choice. Either one of these parties, or nothing at all. It's like my cellmate's Uncle Sam comes up to me and says, "Now, Doc, the way this here prison runs is by what we like to call a two-party system. Now, you can either join the right party, or you can join the left party. Now, what this means on the surface is that you can either take it right in your ass or have it left in your mouth." Now, but the fact of the matter is that when you face one party, you turn your back on the other. You see, that's the meaning of the two-party system, son. The party's on you. Heads I win, tails you lose, and either way, you're getting fucked. Yes, nothing like a little populist political commentary, lightly salted with sodomy jokes, huh, folks? So some of you guys out there just sitting there going, "Oh man, this political stuff is so boring, I just don't know how much more of this butt fucking." Okay, there we go. Now the comedy train's back on track. All right. I'm so tired of politics and politicians. They're all so full of garbage, man. You know, I watched the movie JFK again recently, and it reminded me with the elections like they were, the press is always harassing Ted Kennedy every 4 years with that same stupid question of,
"Hey, Ted, how come you're not running for president?"
You have just a second, fellas? Have a seat. Okay, Oliver, you want to run tape 1, please? Now you see the first bullet enters my first brother's head. Right about there. Okay, next tape, Ollie. Of course, you see the next bullet enters my other brother's head. Right about there. So you see, when Kennedy's run for president, well, let's just say I can take a fucking hint. You know, there's actually a dance that came out of that movie, JFK. Sure, it's a country western dance. It's called the Dallas Two-Step. It's really simple. It's just back and to the left, back and to the left, back and to the left. I know. The Kennedys are easy targets. Yeah, well, 2 of them. That third one's kind of tricky, huh? Learn to swim and everything. Yeah. But that's all just water under the bridge for him now, huh? Guys, you know, I do a little poetry every now and then, and recently I finished a poem that I submitted to Hallmark. And, well, they turned me down, and I was really bummed out by that, so I'd like to go ahead and share this with you tonight if I could. When the road you chose gets rocky, and the way leads all uphill, and even good friends desert you, as they sometimes will. When the deck seems stacked against you, seems there's no way you can win, that's the time to buy a gun and put it to your chin. When problems loom too large and they're only getting bigger, suck the barrel, baby, and pull the fucking trigger. Oh, man, I get misty every time I read that. I really did get turned down by the guys at Hallmark, and actually it prompted me to create my own greeting card and my own greeting card company, which is now called Hellmark. So if you want to get one of these cards after the show, just talk to me. See this right there? It's got the little teddy bear. It says, "A poem to inspire you." And if you have somebody you'd like to inspire, and I know everybody right now is thinking to themselves, "Oh, I'll give it to that son of a bitch. That's for damn sure." Just talk to me after the show. If you like that, I have 3 different cards. This one right here is a great little companion card. See this right here? Yeah, see that cute little girl's right there? She's riding her rocking horse right there. And it says, thinking of you, just wanted to say, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm Doc Barham. Good night.
Keep it going for Doc Barham. Let him hear it, Doc Barham.